absolutely brilliant to see you in the flesh, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, David. In the flesh, yeah.
Good tour so far?
It's been brilliant. It's just whizzed by. I mean, we're literally set. It's penultimate show in Sydney tonight. Last show tomorrow. It's just whizzed by.
Yeah, no.
But it's been fantastic.
It's the end of a fairly long stint, isn't it?
It's about 2 weeks, but there's not been many days off because there's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did first few shows in New Zealand and the rest have been in Australia. So that's been great.
And pre that, you were doing dates in Europe or UK?
We not UK so much this year because we did a big UK tour last year.
That's right.
But we did a tour in France, done some shows in Spain and Germany. So it's been busy. Norway, it's been a busy old time.
No, good stuff. So let's do a bit of a rundown of your rig, which is pretty amazing. And I know we talked on the show about how intricate it can be.
So this rack here is basically the brains. This is what makes a sound. Yeah. And this is what we've flown over. Are you okay? This is what we've flown over. So we've got two of everything for redundancy. So we've got a trusty old Roland Phantom XR, which is kind of all the bread and butter sounds. And then we have the Novation A Station, which is a virtual analog. That's the Moogie sort of fat 3 oscillator sound. Good sound. We got a sample of the Sembalette, which is Dave's signature electric piano sound, which is in the Phantom. So that's kind of a custom sound that we've got.
Yeah.
The guys, actually, the crew, the tech guys, years ago, found a real Sembalette and sampled it. So that's a great thing. So this basically flies with us. This is my little sub-mixer, Behringer XR16.
Oh, yep.
So this is just my monitor mix. So the front of the house has, like, from a DI down there, he has all this stuff going out there. This is my monitor mix. So over here, this is what we have hired in. So I've got 3 keyboards here, 1 keyboard here. This is always the Moog. This is always the Moog, so like the beginning of Grit, you know. That's always for those sounds. Very much how Dave had his setup on stage. Because in the old days, he had his... sorry about the noise, we're still doing sound checks. So it's a busy stage.
It is.
So he would have had his 2 Hammonds, his Sembalette and Mini Moog. That was his setup for a long time. Then he introduced synth. So normally this is Sembalette. So in Toilet, you just saw that I was doing that main riff, you know. Hammond on the middle, and then in the middle here I've got like a synth for the chorus. So this is basically a MIDI patch changer. So if you look here, I've got the set of all the songs.
Yeah, great.
And I just press that, sends a MIDI message to each of the keyboards, it gets all the sounds right.
What's the actual application you're using, Toby?
I don't know.
No, that's right, that's right. No, it's okay. No, it's all right. It's a MIDI switcher. That's all we need to know.
It's called MIDI Patch, iMIDI Patch Bay.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah, it was set up for Dave long before me. And this is my little iPad where I just have little notes.
Yeah, little cheat sheet.
Things like that. So just because every now and then you just get a bit of brain fade. The worst thing is if you start being consciously thinking about a song. We talk about this thing, JJ calls it mooching, which is like a Japanese state of mind where you just trust your muscle memory and your instinct. And that's what I try and do. But you get moments, as you know, as you play yourself. My ring doorbell. No matter where I am in the world, that bloody noise. So you see here, and I just say, just to remind myself where the keyboards are: Sembalette, synth, organ, middle line, the you know where that comes in on a beat. It's just little. I very rarely use them, but it's just my little security blanket.
Agreed.
Because let's face it, it's a big gig to try and emulate what Dave did. So that just makes me a bit more relaxed.
That's right.
This is my fan. I love having.
It's important. It absolutely really is important. Yeah.
I mean, it's not essential. I did joke earlier that no fan, no show, but it's. Again, it's a bit of a comfort blanket. I just find it,
particularly in summer, it's a no-brainer.
It's just relaxing.
Yeah.
So, and this is the trusty old phaser. So.
It's a Boss phaser. Yeah.
Yeah. So really old. I can't remember which model, but it's one of the early ones.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, in Hanging Around, there's a turnaround where you go. Yeah. It's that classic swirly sort of.
Yeah.
That's the settings how Dave had them.
Gotcha.
So you notice there, trade secret. That's exactly how Dave Greenfield had his phaser pedal back in the day. So we've got that for posterity.
I mean, Toby, it sounds like a rock solid rig. It's not as I think we might have talked about it. It's not as if you're in a huge hurry to upgrade anything, really, is there?
That's such a good point because, I mean, basically this has been honed over the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
By our good man Louis, who's our sound guy, our tech guy. And there's two reasons why there is the if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely.
Firstly, it does the job really well. The band are all used to the sounds, so it's familiar. So introducing new sounds is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of customization that's gone, like the Sembelet sound that the Louis and the tech guys sampled. It's unique, and that's in the Phantom.
That's right.
The Hammonds, you know, okay, yeah, the Nords and the things like that do much better Hammonds. So we're using the Phantom Hammond. That's a weak area, but it still does the job. It's still decent. It's not awful. And the other sounds like the harpsichord's serviceable. And I have been looking. I've trialled a few keyboards by some manufacturers. They haven't worked exactly. They haven't been a big enough upgrade to warrant it. So I think you're looking at two things: either main stage, get a couple of MacBook Pros and main stage it, just keep it as is, which a strong argument for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or there's a couple of other synths. There's a couple of Rolands that I might investigate. I've got a contact at Roland, so we might
new Phantoms or
the Phantom O series.
Actually. Yeah. I've got the 07. Nice, nice compact little unit.
You could use the samples on there.
Yes,
as multi-sample. So I could import the Sembelet sound. It's got sub outputs. That's important. I need two sets of outputs.
Yes, it does.
Because Louis likes to have, often we'll have a main sound like the strings in Always the Sun, synth strings, that he can have in glorious stereo, a nice chorus, or whatever. So that ticks some boxes. So if I I might try get one off Roland, try it out. But at the end of the day, this does work.
It does.
And the guys are used to it. So this is my. We've got a little rotary. I don't know what it is. A Voce. I should pay more attention.
For the rotary for the organ. Yeah.
I only really use that on walk on by.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
But that's essentially it.
Brilliant rig.
It's a great rig. And I actually, even though you could probably condense it down to two 76-note keyboards with some clever splits, I like the real estate of having all the keys.
Agreed. Yeah.
It looks cool. It's nice. So over here, I can pull faces at Jim when I'm doing new solos. There's a lot of love in that.
I know. There always is between keyboard player and drummer. Same as my band.
Yeah, it's a race to the bottom.
It is.
Jim's great, and on days off, you have to be very careful. Do not stay out drinking with this man because it ends up in ruinous.
He's a monster.
Circumstances. Yeah, he is.
And Jim's triggering it, whatever tracks you're using on some songs.
This is a check on Jim. Jim, do you want to just quickly talk through your tech?
Sorry to put you on the spot, Jim.
That's all right. So it's pretty basic, really. We've got an SPDSX, which is MIDI linked to Toby's program change. So whenever he changes patch, it's changing the patch near me.
So I've been in trouble by changing it too quickly for the next song.
Yeah.
I have to remember.
Then we've got a BT1 bar trigger. Normally in the UK, I've got a KD7 foot trigger and a PD8 over here. They're just as expansions of the SPD, basically. We're not doing. And a D drum snare trigger. We're not doing anything complicated with it.
No, but still sounds
a bit
brilliant.
of augmentation and just the odd little sound here and there, but nothing complicated.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that's enough the drums.
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's
I mean,
brilliant.
like you said, we're in no rush to replace it because it works, and essentially we just have to fly this.
Yeah, that's right.
So it condenses down into a very sort of portable thing, and they're just standard MIDI keyboards as long as they're reasonable action. These are all sort of semi-synth waves and so forth. Those fast arpeggios.
Well, DM audio weighted stuff's pretty good. Yeah,
It's decent.
Yeah.
It's decent. We've got a couple of spares, haven't we, Laurie? Oh, can I introduce you to Laurie? Laurie's my keyboard tech.
Laurie, how are you?
And
Good.
Laurie's brilliant. So basically, occasionally you get a MIDI glitch or something where we'll have to reset it. Laurie's is straight on it.
Yeah.
Bang. Occasionally there's a few gremlins. He's straight on it. And he fetches my beer when I've drunk my beer. So he's got a very...
Does he give you extra for that, Laurie?
Well, maybe occasionally.
I should have... I'm overdue getting you a present.
Oh,
so let's do that after the UK tour.
Yeah, old Rig. There's always going to be a few.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, these guys. I mean, literally, we've turned up for soundcheck here at 4 o'clock. These guys have been here all day, setting everything up.
That's right.
Right. So you know, we really couldn't do the stuff without Laurie and the crew and Dave, our monitor guy.
Yeah.
I think they've all gone to get a bite to eat.
Yeah, no problems.
Yeah, they're the guys behind the scenes who make it all work. As you know, you're a musician. You know, that's Dave, our monitor engineer. Best in the
Hey,
business.
how are you, Dave? Good name.
He's actually normally a front of house engineer for a lot of big bands, but he does monitors for us, and we're very, very lucky because that's quite a challenging gig.
It is.
Doing monitors for the Stranglers. Would you say it's a challenging gig doing monitors for Stranglers?
Absolutely.
Yes, a big.
Toby, that's absolutely brilliant. Can't thank enough for taking the time, and that's superb. And I wouldn't be rushing to main stage either. I think your stress levels will double in spite of how stable it is.
I think you're right. I think I might try the Phantom.
Yeah.
Because I tried the Nautilus, and I don't want to diss Korg. I've had loads of Korg stuff, but the load time was an issue.
Yes.
It takes so long.
It does.
It went down, or there was power spike.
Oh, it's an eternity.
It doesn't work for us.
No.
I like the look of that Phantom, and I'm looking at the 07 actually. So after this,
we'll talk. Yeah. No, Toby, superb.
It's still not easy to talk about sometimes, but ladies and gentlemen, the man behind us, although I've never seen his testicles, I assume they're that big. It's Toby Hounsham, everybody.